Hi there, friends, and welcome to our TopKrop Quick Facts on Black Earth Humics. In the next 10 to 15 minutes, I want to explain what humic and fulvic acids are, point out some differences in the sources of humates, mention some of the problems we're facing with our soil, give you some reason why humics might be a fit for your farm, show you some of the common products, how, when to apply them and their cost, and then take a look at some of the results. So let's get started. To start, let's talk about humus. Organic matter is broken down into its basic components by decomposers such as fungi, insects, and bacteria. Rocks and minerals are also broken down by weathering and rock-eating organisms called lithotrophs. These particles are reformed into stable chemical compounds collectively called humus. Humus is comprised of three types of molecules: humin, fulvic acids, and humic acids. One way to think of humic substances is on a spectrum. Fulvic acids are the smallest and lightest in color. They have the lowest carbon content and are the most soluble. Because of their small size, they can be taken up by the plants and increase the pore sizes of the root system, which enables the plants to take up more and larger nutrients. Next in size is humic acids. These are darker, less soluble, and have higher carbon content than fulvic acids. Humic acids are too large to be taken up by the plants, but they break down soil particles, increase aeration, increase water retention, and boost the microbial activity. And lastly, you have the largest humin molecules that are the darkest in color, have the most carbon content, but are insoluble. Differences in sources of humate products. Not all sources of humic substances, commonly referred to as humates, are the same. Ours are provided by Calgary-based company Black Earth. The source of the Black Earth products is called humulite. This material is only found in Alberta, Canada. It's a weathered subbituminous coal formed in a freshwater environment and is known for its high humic and fulvic acid content. Other humates come up from a source called leonardite. This can be found in a number of areas, including New Mexico and North Dakota. This material is formed in a saltwater environment, can have a high variability of humic and fulvic acid content, and contains higher levels of ash and heavy metals. On the left is a leonardite dispersing granule, and on the right is the Black Earth magna, partially soluble granule. The darker color of the Magna Plush shows that it is a lot more soluble. One thing to note when comparing sources of humics is the testing method used. There are three different testing methods that can be used, and currently there isn't a standard method in the industry. The calorimetric is the simplest method that typically gives higher humic content results, whereas the HPTA method is considered the most accurate analysis of humic content. Black Earth has chosen to do all the testing on their new and upcoming products using the HPTA method to provide the most accurate humic content. Here's an example of the different testing methods. This slide shows you a granular leonardite humate from New Mexico and Black Earth's granular humulite. With the calorimetric test, both of these products show to have 80% humic components, but under the more accurate HPTA method, the Black Earth humulite shows significantly higher amounts of humic and fulvic acid and higher cation exchange capacity while having a lower ash content. Again, notice the color difference. The humulite on the right is getting darker because it is more soluble. Some issues affecting soil health. One common issue we have in Western Canada is higher pH or alkali soils. In these soils, calcium interacts with a number of nutrient ions, making them unavailable to plants. Perhaps the most important of these is phosphorus, being a macronutrient required in higher amounts. Another problem affecting soils is the use of high salt fertilizers and chemicals like glyphosate that break down into salts in the soil. More and more farms are seeing saline patches in their fields that are no longer productive. Part of that reason could be the use of high salt fertilizers and chemicals. So what salt does is increases the electrical conductivity in the soil, which increases the osmotic pressure. Now this causes water to move from lower concentration in the plant to higher concentration in the soil, making less water and the nutrients that it carries available for the plant. Now these effects can be magnified in dry or cool soil conditions. So why use some humics? Here's a chart showing a summary of the benefits you get from using humics. Humic's high carbon content is a food source for microbes, which improves the soil ecology and helps to build organic matter. But perhaps the most important benefit is the ability to chelate nutrients. Now let's take a closer look at that. Chelate refers to a molecule's ability to hold on to ions. The word stems from the Greek word chyle, which means lobster claw. Molecules of humic acids are negatively charged because they've lost positively charged hydrogen atoms. This leaves space for positively charged ions, also called cations, such as iron, copper, zinc, and manganese, to attach. Root systems of plants are also negatively charged, and because they have a greater charge than that of the humic acids, the humic compound is drawn to the root, where the positively charged cations will leave the humic molecule in favor of the root, where the plant can absorb and use it. Humics can improve the cation exchange capacity of a soil. The CEC is a measurement of the soil's ability to hold on to cations. Soils are made up of a mix of sand, silt, and clay. Clay soils have a high negative charge and therefore a high CEC, whereas sandy soils have a low CEC and nutrients are more likely to be washed away. Humic's ability to hold on to cations can raise the CEC of the soil. The CEC can be found on most soil tests as highlighted in green on the slide. A&L Labs have some good fact sheets on CEC if you're interested in learning more. Humics, being great chelators, can tie up salts in the soil. These can be from high salt fertilizers or other chemicals that break down into salts in the soil. When humics are applied in furrow, they go into the rhizosphere, which is the area surrounding the roots of the plants. This can improve your fertilizer use efficiency by making more nutrients available to sensitive seedlings. This can also benefit you if wanting to reclaim saline patches that you're currently getting little or no production from. These typically require larger applications over a number of years. Pictured is an old map from 1996 showing the risk for soil salinity in Western Canada. One last thing I'll mention is the carbon to nitrogen ratio in the soil. This is a measurement of the mass of carbon to the mass of nitrogen. So a C to N ratio of 10 to 1 means there are 10 units of carbon for each unit of nitrogen. So why is this important? Well, it has to do with feeding the microorganisms in your soil. Having active microorganisms is important to having healthy soils and in nutrient cycling. Microorganisms have a CN ratio of 8 to 1, and they must get enough carbon and nitrogen from the environment to maintain that ratio. The optimum level for them is a diet with a C to N ratio of 24 to 1. Your crop rotations will impact this ratio and thus impact the speed microorganisms break down material. As you can see on the chart, wheat and oat straw have a higher ratio, which slows down microorganisms, resulting in a nitrogen deficit. Conversely, cow manure and young alfalfa have a lower ratio, which results in a nitrogen surplus. The use of humics can help balance out this ratio and keep it closer to the ideal ratio of 24 to 1. Let's look at some of the common products that are being used. First, we'll look at the dry products. Let's start with Active 80 AG. This is a coarse granular product and is probably the most economical way to apply a high volume of humics. 80 means that it is minimum 80% humic content. Now that's using the calorimetric method of testing. It can be applied at seeding, either in furrow or side banded. It's recommended to use a separate tank when possible, but it can be blended with monoammonium phosphate, 1152, or potash, but not urea. It's best to blend just prior to application and don't let it sit or you will still see some settling in the tank. The suggested rate with the seed is 40 pounds an acre. It can also be broadcast on, typically in the fall, which is the best if trying to improve saline areas. You can put it on at higher rates between 100 to 250 pounds an acre, or sometimes even higher. The product comes in bulk, 2,000 or 2,400 pound totes. The current SRP price is 20 cents per pound, FOB Riley, Alberta. Just a quick note, all the prices I'll be mentioning are subject to freight, and it's best to call your local dealer for a delivered price. Many locations will have inventory. Next is a new product just released this spring of 2020 called Humazen Magna Plus. Like Active 80, it's granular, but instead of being coarse, this product is in granule form. It's a partially solubilized to provide rapid release in any soil type. This product is best applied at seeding, either in furrow or side banded. It can be blended with fertilizers, including urea, and the suggested rate with seed is 5 to 20 pounds an acre. This product can also be broadcast on at rates between 20 to 75 pounds an acre. It comes in 2,000 pound totes or 55 pound bags. Current SRP price is 99 cents per pound for a 2,000 pound tote. You can see in the picture how much more soluble it is compared to the Active 80. This is why it would be used in smaller amounts. Now we'll look at the liquid products. First is Active 12. It's 12% humic compounds. It can be applied at seeding, again in furrow or side banded, and can be blended with liquid fertilizers. However, there is a potential for precipitation of solids if mixing with low pH or acidic liquids. So it's always best to conduct a jar test with the liquid fertilizer prior to blending. Suggested rate with seeding is 0.5 to 1.3 gallons an acre. Can be applied as a foliar spray at 1 gallon per acre and can also be used in irrigation water at a gallon an acre rate. It comes in 1,000 liter totes or 20 liter jugs. Current price is $1.52 per liter for the 1,000 liter tote size. Here's another new product in the Humazen line called Alpha Plus. It has 3.5% humic acid and 1.5% fulvic acid. This is using the HPTA testing method. It can be used as a seed treatment for cereals and legumes, and it's best to apply it within 48 hours of planting at a rate of 1 gallon per acre. It can be applied at seeding, again in furrow or side banded, and can be blended with liquid fertilizers, but not that contain calcium nitrate. Suggested rate with seed is 1/4 to 1 gallon per acre. As a foliar spray, it should be applied at 0.134 to 0.267 gallons per acre, diluted in water to a maximum of 10% concentration. It can also be used in irrigation water at 1/4 to 1 gallon an acre. It comes in 1,000 liter totes and 18.9 liter jugs. Current SRP is $2.85 per liter for the 1,000 liter tote. These are the most common products sold in Western Canada. There are some others available if you want to check out the Black Earth website and contact us for more information and pricing. Just before we leave the product section, I should mention that all these products are certified for organic use by OMRI. Let's take a quick look at some of the results that we've seen. Adding humics to your soil commonly results in larger roots, increased biomass, which enhances the nutrient uptake, resulting in better yields and quality. Here's a picture showing some canola roots. You see more root mass near the base of the plant and some longer tapping roots. Here's a broadcast application of Active 80 AG. Notice the serpentine pattern in the field. There's definitely an increase in the photosynthesis where this was applied. This slide shows some data from 2 different research companies using Active 12 liquid used at different rates with UAN on corn. The UAN alone was 248 bushels an acre. The best result was with 2 gallons an acre of Active 12 and had a gain of almost 10 bushels an acre. Here's an application of 40 pounds an acre of Active 80 put in the seed row. You can see a lot more green growth where the humic was applied. Well, that's the end of the presentation. So just a quick review. We talked about what humic and fulvic acids are, some differences in the sources of humates, some issues that are affecting the soil, and gave you some reasons why you might want to try humics. We looked at the most common products sold, how to apply them, the rates, and the pricing. And then we took a quick look at some results. For more information or to get in touch with your local dealer, please go to our website, topkrop.ca. Many dealers do have product in stock. Thank you for watching our quick facts on Black Earth humic products. Check out our YouTube page for videos on our other products.